The NFL draft has come and gone, leaving many of these HBCU athletes wondering how they may stack up in the upcoming draft in 2024, especially with many of them that have a season or two that's left that could possibly very well be considering wanting to get into that NFL draft. Well, we have a young man right now that has decided that he wanted to go ahead, bust a move, and get up out of his current situation playing over at an HBCU and move on because of the uncertainty. This is something that I think may be going on. Because one thing I want you to understand is this. We heard former head coach Deion Sanders talk about this young man being a professional, in which he has all of the intangibles for him to get to where he's trying to go. And when you look at things in that nature and what, the mindset of a lot of these athletes they have currently right now, with all of them jumping into the transfer portal, not just HBCU athletes, but athletes as well as in the Power 5 and other FCS programs are now jumping head first to get into that transfer portal to find the best situation. Well, this young man decided he wanted to put his name in the transfer portal. We're going to talk about exactly what could have very well been that reason that he may have decided to make that move right after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos and tap me in the free and tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing and get straight to it. Because I know you're like, Coach, talk to me, guy. What do you know about this situation? What's going on here that made this young man decide, hey, he wanted to go ahead and break wide and get up out of Jackson and go somewhere else? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The confusion of not seeing this young man play in the Celebration Bowl last year when former head coach Deion Sanders was there over the Jackson State Tigers football program, that left many wondering, why was this young man kept out? Well, from my understanding, it was due to him being late for a meeting. Well, and I think there's been several times, many people have talked about the what all took place that week as far as from a weather standpoint, making sure he was able to get his bags and stuff there to the bus to make sure, things were on point for, things to get here to Atlanta. Well, we already know who we're talking about, none other than Nyles Gaddy. Starting defensive lineman for the Jackson State Tigers football program, has decided that he wants to take his talents and go to the transfer portal. Now, I know you guys are like, but Coach, wait a minute, he did this in the beginning of the year. Why all of a sudden, he said he's going to go, and now he's going to stay, and now he's going to go again. Again, guys, there's a lot of uncertainty that's happening right now. Many of you have stated in the comments in part one where I did the short, asking, did this really just happen? And I'm trying to figure out for myself, like, what's going on here with this young man as far as why, he decided to make this change. And I'm going to be honest with you. When you look at everything that has taken place in this whirlwind with this young man over the past, we're in this May 1st now. We're looking at the past 5 months. Well, actually, we can say 5.5 months, everything that's going on. There's a lot for these young folks to take in. It's kind of like, and I hate I didn't drop this video because it really will give you some insight as far as the thought process that a lot of these athletes are using when it comes down to making a move. I'm not saying that this young man is making a haste decision as far as him saying, hey, look, I need to just go ahead and get up out of here. I need to make a change, do something different. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that when you look at the NFL draft that happened this past weekend, you had one athlete from an HBCU that was drafted into the NFL, which is Isaiah Bolden, who's going over to the New England Patriots. You had 10 players from FCS programs that were drafted into the NFL. I'm sure thoughts are running around in their minds like, asking, will this happen to me next year in 2024 when it's time for me to enter my name into the NFL draft? A lot of these young men, they want to play and get themselves on that next level to play for these NFL organizations. And a lot of times, as it once was stated before, and I forget who it was, because I would love to quote them exactly and give them their props for this statement, but you cannot make billionaires do something that you want them to do. That's something that we have to understand. When it comes down to these athletes that's being drafted into the NFL, There's a lot of different things that's going on, and I'm probably going to rock the boat with this thing, with this statement that I'm going to make, because I know some folks is really going to get upset and be like, "Ah, coach, here you go with that extra bull junk again." No, sometimes we have to have conversations that people really don't want to have, and I want you to keep this in mind. I want you to keep this in mind. Aubrey Miller and Nyles Gaddy was joined at the hip while at Jackson State. So work out together as well as sit down and break down film. When you got both of these young men that are together as much as they were, making sure that their bodies was conditioned to get out there on that field and play in the manner which they played last season, over the past couple of seasons, you have to ask yourself this $1,000,000 question. When Nyles Gaddy did not see Aubrey Miller's name being called, but he got a free agent deal to go to Miami, you sitting there asking yourself, like, wait a minute, how in the world can this man not get his name called when you had all of these people that were talking to him as if it was a go? Like it was definitely going to happen for him. And these are things that are really playing in these kids' heads right now. Now I know there was another message that was left in part one where someone stated that, could it be that Deion Sanders is, renting out space in these young men's head because he left and went to Colorado? I'll say this. That statement, I kind of get where that can go, but I mean, we're gonna let that man go. We just gonna let him go on about his business, take care of his kids over there at Colorado, let them be great, do the things that they need to do. Because honestly, truly, I think it does leave some reservations for some of these athletes to ask the question, okay, why did coach leave? Yes, he did make a statement saying that this is a shame that only one athlete from an HBCU was drafted. I respectfully understand that. I'm still trying to understand how in the world all these punters got drafted as high as they did in the NFL. But guys, this is something that has really just blown me away this weekend, because it takes me to where I said I was going to rock the boat, and it's here. We've been hearing over the past week that people are saying that politics should not be in sports. Well, let's be honest with one another. Politics have always been in sports, whether we like it or not. There's a lot of times people want to overlook or just don't pay any attention to the politics that's going on, but they are there. And in this instance, when we talk about the politics, when did everything started blowing up? When the eyes really got down on HBCUs in the manner in which they needed to have been for years. Since the beginning of time, people should have been paying attention to HBCUs. Even after when Walter Payton and Jerry Rice and Aeneas Williams and all of those other great athletes that was drafted from those HBCU institutions into the NFL, there still should have been someone taking a look at what the product as far as HBCU players being out there on the field. I mean, we got to be honest with ourselves here. HBCUs got that look once again when you had all of this police brutality that was going on around this country. You had Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. Everybody got upset with that. It was like, wait a minute, we can't have this here. You had owners. I'm sorry, but I know a lot of you Dallas Cowboy fans out there going to get mad. But Jerry Jones did not like the fact that the athletes on that team wanted to take a knee. And guess what? He was looking to boot their behinds off the team if they did take a knee. So that raises another red flag as far as what's going on. Yeah, I know Isaiah Land has an opportunity to go play over at Dallas. That is great. I'm sure that young man's going to get out there. He's going to make some things happen for himself in that program. But you have to keep in mind all of these things that's going on. I mean, I'm done with having a blind eye to a lot of different things that have occurred, and I wanted to discuss them, but I left them alone because of the fact that many of you out there, Coach, you're positive all the time. Yeah, you can still be positive and provide a message for people to see exactly what's going on. And some of this stuff that's happening is foul, and sometimes things need to be discussed. That leads me to the question to ask everyone: do you see the NFL beginning to go back to devaluing HBCU players that's looking to come into the NFL to play? The question I want to ask all of you viewers out there is this: what would you do if you were in Nyles Gaddy's position or some of these other athletes' position? What exactly would you do as far as with having to make that decision of whether or not you want to go into the transfer portal? Make sure you better position yourself to play on that next level. Because we already know it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee of where, where you're looking to go play somewhere else, thinking that they're going to draft you, the NFL is going to draft you because you've moved on and go play at a Power 5. It's not a guarantee that's going to happen. But I want everyone out there to ask themselves that question and really be honest with yourself. Leave your comments below and let me know. Because the reason why I'm asking all of you viewers out there to ask yourself that question and answer that is because a lot of these young men, they work their behinds off looking for the possibility of their names to be called when it comes time for that NFL draft to take place. Better yet, the NBA, the WNBA, heck, MLB, all of it. Everybody's looking to have that opportunity to have their name called. So I just want you to ask yourself that question. If you was in Nyles Gaddy's shoes right now, what would you do? But, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave this be for now, but we definitely going to circle back and tackle this again. But Nyles Gaddy, Coach Walker wishes you nothing but the best of luck on wherever it is you choose to take your talents and go to. Make sure you continue to keep getting out there and working your tail off. And one thing I want all of you athletes to keep in mind is this. When you decide that you want to take your talents, leave an HBCU to go somewhere else and play, understand your level of play got to go up ×2. Your stats got to go up ×2. That means you're going to go out there and play like a man or woman possessed, letting them know that the best is here and they're going to have to find a way to stop it from happening. Because if you don't, guess what? They're going to put you back in. They're going to put you back lower in the deck than you were before. We've seen it happen a few times already with a couple of these athletes that have moved on. I'm just giving advice as far as things that I've seen. But hey, I wish all you athletes out there the best as far as whichever direction it is you choose to go. Nyles Gaddy, I know you're gonna do great things, brother. I'm not gonna worry about it. I wish, things would have worked out, but they didn't. So salute to you and your family. Congratulations on wherever it is you land. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.